Hi everybody and welcome back to the KK Zone. As always, I am Kara Kaufman, coming to you on the best day of the entire year. It is April 1st, opening day, the return of real live baseball. Yay! This is fantastic, couldn't be happier. The Yankees did lose, so I guess I could be happier if they'd won. More on that in a moment. But just the idea that all of a sudden there are all these games to watch. I have had baseball on my television from 1 p.m. onwards, and that in itself makes me happy. And I was thinking as I watched the Yankees lose a game that even being annoyed about the result of a baseball game feels kind of good right now, because it's been a long time since we've been able to do that. So overall, all good things. I will start in a moment with the recap of the game. This is my challenge to myself. I'm going to do 90-second recaps of the baseball games the Yankees play this year, and this should be a fun challenge for me to stay within that time constraint. Hilarity may or may not ensue. Information may or may not be completely disseminated. We shall see how it's going to go. Before I get to that, I will do a quick Whiteboard of Doom update, but I didn't say it with a scary voice because it's actually nothing new on it. It's more housekeeping. But here is that update for you. Actually, no bad news to report today. We're 5 days in with no new injuries. Let's hope it stays that way. Just some housekeeping here. Luke Voigt, Justin Wilson, and Miguel Andujar, all of whom were already injured, have been officially placed on the 10-day IL, now that they can be. And Luis Severino and Clark Schmidt are joined by Zach Britton on the 60-day IL. The timeline has not changed, just the paper move so that the Yankees could add someone else to the 40-man who's an active player. That'll do it, and hopefully we'll keep this number growing. Double digits. Bring it on. My only addendum to that is we did see, as the players were announced along the baselines prior to today's game, Justin Wilson was there. They said he's been throwing off mound and feels good. So I would actually probably, barring further setback, I would expect him back once his 10 days are up. And also Luke Voigt was there, and oh my god, he crutched out to the end of the greeting line. It was so sad and so cute, and happy he was there. The crowd loved it, but wish he were actually playing. So that was adorable. And that is it for the injury update. Okay, friends, I'm going to try and do the impossible. I'm going to try and recap this game in 90 seconds. I have a timer on my phone set for 1 minute 30 seconds, and let us see what happens. All right, ready, set, go. Yankees took on the Blue Jays today in the Bronx, and unfortunately, on opening day, the Yankees lost. They fell 3-2 in 10 innings. Yes, an extra inning game on opening day. Started out being a pitcher's duel. Garrett Cole was really good for the Yankees. 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts, only one shy of the franchise opening day record. But unfortunately, Hyunjin Ryu for the Blue Jays was almost exactly as good. He also went 5 1/3 innings and also allowed 2 runs. So it fell to the bullpens. Yankees bullpen overall did really well. Green, Loaizaga, O'Day, Nelson. Nelson took the loss here. He came in to pitch in the top of the 10th with a man on second because that stupid extra inning base runner rule where a man starts on second, I hate. Anyway, first pitch, RBI double. Ultimately game-losing RBI double, then 3 strikeouts. So, felt bad for Nick Nelson, kind of a tough luck loss there. But, on the good side, Gary Sanchez had an amazing game. The 2-run homer of his accounted for the only 2 Yankees runs. He also threw out a runner at second base looking really good and drew a walk. So, Gary Sanchez gets a thumbs up today, and he needed it in a bad way. Unfortunately, Aaron Judge and DJ LeMahieu both came up in big situations with the possibility to break the game open and take a lead, and they both could not deliver. Try again tomorrow, guys. Particularly bad was the 7th inning. The bases were loaded with only 1 out, and Aaron Judge hit into a double play. The worst! But that's not the kind of thing I expect to happen a lot. So, ultimately, lots of good performances. Couldn't quite put together the offense, but the pitching, on balance, looked fantastic. Julian Merriweather for the Blue Jays gets a shout out for getting the save. He pitched the bottom of the 10th and struck out the side. That's it, 90 seconds. I did it. Unfortunately, your final is Blue Jays 3, Yankees 2. Okay, that was intense. I didn't even get to everything I wrote down, but those are the highlights and I guess lowlights. From my ultimate perspective on this one, the Yankees have a lot working in their favor. Didn't go their way today, but they'll come back, not tomorrow, but Saturday, strong, and everything you wanted to see you saw pretty much, except for good at-bats and key moments, which I think it's going to happen. Alright, game's still in progress right now, so there is probably a lot more I'll have to catch up on tomorrow, but quick hits for today. First off, one of the craziest things I've ever seen in a game, Dodgers playing the Rockies in Colorado, where all kinds of crazy things happen because of altitude. This one I'm not sure you can blame on the Rocky Mountains, though. Cody Bellinger hit what looked like a 2-run home run with Justin Turner on first base, and he's going to his home run trot, and unfortunately, as he rounds first, Justin Turner is running back to first because it looked like Raimel Tapia made the catch in the outfield. So confusion ensued, but ultimately, while Cody Bellinger did hit a ball over the outfield wall, he only gets credited with an RBI single. That is bonkers. But because he passed the base runner in front of him, he's automatically out. So Turner was then allowed to proceed around the bases and score, so he got the run, but Cody Bellinger was out after crossing first base. So, weird. I'd never seen that before. Dodgers didn't love it. Not sure how that game's gonna end. It is still going on as I'm recording this, but ultimately, a weird one for opening day at Coors Field. Next thing I have to point out, and I feel like I've done a lot of Phillies content lately, but I can't let this one go by. Bryce Harper, star right fielder for the Phillies, has a fairly loving relationship with the Phillies mascot, the aforementioned Phillies Fanatic, who I talked about a bunch earlier. Well, Bryce has had a bunch of Fanatic gear made, and today just takes the cake. Look at these cleats he is wearing. Come on. Are these even legal? Can you have that much stuff sticking off your shoes when you're playing a sport? I don't know. Seems like you could trip really easily, but as a fashion statement, though, I love it. So Bryce Harper going all in on the Fanatic love in 2021. My last quick hit today comes to you from the Tigers-Cleveland game, in which the first home run of the year was hit today. But the first thing is this game took place in a snowstorm, a literal snowstorm. This is an actual photo from this game. What is happening in Detroit? Well, obviously snow is happening, but why is there also baseball happening? Craziness. But in any event, living legend and soon-to-be Hall of Famer Miguel Cabrera hit a ball through those snowflakes and it was out of the park. The funny part of this is that he couldn't tell it was out of the park because it blended in with all the other spherical white objects in the air, and so he slid into second hoping to avoid a tag when in fact the ball was not even in the field of play anymore. That was cute. Also, it's great because Miguel Cabrera is approaching a bunch of milestones this season, including a home run milestone, so it was cool to see him get off on the right foot today in that game. Good job, Miggy. We're happy for him. And finally, because the season has started, it means baseball bingo has officially started. I'm sure I'll have a couple more things tomorrow to be annotating and checking off, but I can tell you there is a square today that has been definitively checked off. Andy, congratulations. Today, a bullpen allowed 0 runs. Actually, a couple bullpens did, including, sadly, against the Yankees, but I'm not going to go with that one. Chronologically, the first bullpen to allow no runs was that of Cleveland. The honor there goes to Brian Shaw and James Karinchak, who combined to allow 0 runs, thus earning Andy a checked-off square in baseball bingo. Nice job, everyone. Ongoing game will keep going. The last thing to mention today is we have seen a couple of games delayed today. Usually opening day is fun because all 30 teams play. Today, the Boston-Baltimore game in Boston was postponed because of weather. Apparently it was sleeting there. Sucks to be Boston. And then also, much more sadly, the Nationals-Mets game was delayed. The Nationals had a player test positive for COVID yesterday, which is obviously scary. And they had another 4 people, including 3 players, quarantining while contact tracing was completed. We learned today 2 of those players have tested positive for COVID, and they're expecting a positive on the 4th. So really bad news for the Nats, and we hope everyone's okay, first and foremost. But second of all, it means they canceled today's game and they canceled tomorrow's game. So not sure when we're going to see the revamped Mets get to play, and not sure when the Nats are going to play, especially because if they have players with COVID, it might be a while before they're back on the field. So sending healthy thoughts down towards the DC area and hoping everyone comes out of that okay. But on the Yankee side, we've got no game tomorrow. It's an off day scheduled that way in case it had rained today, which thankfully it did not. And then we have games Saturday and Sunday afternoon against these same Blue Jays. Blue Jays are going to play tough. They looked really good today, as I detailed in my very hurried summary. And so we're hoping we can pull out a win. We got Corey Kluber going on Saturday, and then we've got Domingo Germán going on Sunday. So no game to report on tomorrow, but I'll be back on Saturday to tell you what happened in that tilt. Guys, I almost forgot. In addition to doing the 90-second recaps, I also, now that games are back, will give you recap haikus for those who don't even have 90 seconds, and for those who only follow me on Twitter and aren't seeing this video at all. So, for today. Baseball's back today, with fans and homers and joy. Sadly, the Yanks lost. So, that about sums it up. And to conclude today, I will leave you with this very appropriate quote from the great, oft quoted by me and everyone else, Stephen Sondheim. This one is from Into the Woods, and it is, "Opportunity is not a lengthy visitor." With that, I leave you. I will see you over the weekend when we have 2 more Yankees games to love. I cannot wait until then. But in the meantime, watch all the baseball you can, and as always, go Yanks.